The transfer battle that has everyone talking. Victor Gyokeres chooses Arsenal over Manchester United. What happens when two Premier League giants fight over one of Europe's hottest strikers? You get one of the most exciting transfer battles of 2025. Victor Gyokeres, the Swedish goal machine who has been setting Portuguese football on fire, has become the center of a massive tug-of-war between Manchester United and Arsenal. But here's the twist that has United fans worried. Gyokeres has reportedly told Manchester United that he wants to join Arsenal instead. This news has sent shockwaves through the football world and left many asking the same question. Why would a world-class striker choose Arsenal over Manchester United? The answer might surprise you, and it tells us a lot about where both clubs stand right now. Who is Victor Gyokeres and why does everyone want him? Before we dive into this transfer drama, let's talk about why Victor Gyokeres has become such a wanted man. The 27-year-old Swedish striker has been nothing short of sensational at Sporting CP. We're talking about a player who has scored goals for fun and turned heads across Europe with his performances. Gyokeres didn't always play at this level. He started his journey in English football with Brighton back in 2018, but things didn't work out as planned. He went on loan to several clubs including St. Pauli in Germany and Swansea in Wales. His real breakthrough came at Coventry City, where he scored 43 goals in 2.5 seasons in the Championship. That's when Sporting CP came calling, and the rest is history. Since joining Sporting, Gyokeres has been unstoppable. His goal-scoring record speaks for itself, and he has proven that he can perform at the highest level. This is exactly the kind of striker that both Manchester United and Arsenal desperately need. The current transfer situation. What's really happening? So what's the real story behind this transfer battle? According to multiple reports, both Manchester United and Arsenal have been chasing Gyokeres for months. But here's where it gets interesting. The player himself has made his preference clear. Fabrizio Romano, the transfer expert everyone trusts, has confirmed that Gyokeres is giving priority to Arsenal. This news came as a shock to many United fans who thought their club would be the more attractive option. Romano revealed that Gyokeres has communicated his preference to Manchester United, essentially telling them he would rather join Arsenal. But why would he choose Arsenal over United? There are several reasons that make sense when you think about it. Arsenal finished higher in the Premier League table, they're playing in the Champions League, and they have a clear playing style under Mikel Arteta that might suit Gyokeres better. Manchester United, on the other hand, had a disappointing season. They didn't qualify for European competition and finished in the bottom half of the Premier League table. For a player of Gyokeres' quality, this might not be the most attractive proposition right now. Arsenal's advantage. Why they're winning this race. Arsenal seem to be in the driver's seat for several reasons. First, they've been more active in their pursuit. Recent reports suggest that Arsenal met with Gyokeres' agent and are now considered favorites to get a deal done. They've also reportedly agreed to pay around £55 million to Sporting CP, showing they're serious about getting this deal over the line. The Gunners have been looking for a top-quality striker for a long time. They've tried different solutions, but none have given them the consistent goal threat they need to compete for the Premier League title. Gyokeres could be the missing piece of their puzzle. Arsenal's style of play under Mikel Arteta might also suit Gyokeres perfectly. They like to play quick, attacking football with plenty of chances created for their striker. This is exactly the kind of environment where Gyokeres has thrived at Sporting CP. There's also the Champions League factor. Arsenal will be playing in Europe's top competition next season, while Manchester United won't be in any European tournament. For a player at the peak of his career, this is a huge consideration. Manchester United's uphill battle. Can they still win this race? Don't count Manchester United out just yet. While Gyokeres might prefer Arsenal, United are still very much in this race. They've reportedly made a higher offer to try and convince both the player and Sporting CP to change their minds. United have some advantages of their own. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world with massive global appeal. They can offer huge wages and have a history of attracting top players even during difficult periods. The club is also going through changes under new management, and they might be able to convince Gyokeres that he could be part of something special. Some reports suggest that Gyokeres hasn't completely closed the door on United. Transfer expert Ben Jacobs has said that Victor Gyokeres never said no to Manchester United, and that he would be open to joining Manchester United if the Arsenal deal falls through. This gives United hope. If Arsenal can't agree on a fee with Sporting CP, or if there are any complications with their deal, United could swoop in and hijack the transfer. In football transfers, anything can happen until the contract is signed. The money problem. Sporting CP's tough stance. Here's where things get complicated. Sporting CP are not making this easy for anyone. Victor Gyokeres has a release clause of €100 million in his contract, but there have been reports of a gentleman's agreement that would allow him to leave for much less. The problem is that Sporting CP seem to be going back on this agreement. Reports suggest that Gyokeres is frustrated with Sporting because they're not honoring the lower fee that was supposedly agreed upon. This has created tension and might even lead to the player taking drastic action. Some reports suggest that Gyokeres could go on strike to force a move to Arsenal. This would be a dramatic escalation, but it shows how badly he wants to leave Portugal and return to top-level football. Arsenal have reportedly agreed to pay around £55 million, while other sources suggest they're willing to go up to £65 million with bonuses. Manchester United, meanwhile, are said to be preparing an even higher offer to try and gazump their London rivals. Fabrizio Romano's latest updates. What the expert says. Fabrizio Romano has been following this story closely, and his updates have been crucial in understanding where things stand. Romano confirmed that Gyokeres is prioritizing a move to Arsenal and has communicated this preference to Manchester United. In his recent updates, Romano explained that while both clubs are interested, Arsenal are currently in the stronger position. He's also revealed that the price is the crucial part of any deal, with Sporting CP maintaining their tough stance on the transfer fee. Romano has also suggested that we should expect more developments in the coming days. Both Arsenal and Manchester United are expected to seek clarity on their chances of signing Gyokeres, and the player himself will need to make some big decisions about his future. The transfer expert has made it clear that this is far from over. While Arsenal might be favorites right now, Manchester United's financial power means they can't be ruled out. Romano's updates suggest that we're in for more twists and turns in this transfer saga. The bigger picture. What this means for both clubs. This transfer battle tells us a lot about where both clubs are right now. For Arsenal, landing Gyokeres would be a huge statement of intent. It would show that they're serious about challenging for the Premier League title and that they can attract top players even when competing against bigger clubs like Manchester United. Arsenal's transfer strategy under Mikel Arteta has been impressive. They've built a young, talented squad, and adding a proven goalscorer like Gyokeres would complete their puzzle. The fact that the player prefers Arsenal shows how much the club's reputation has improved in recent years. For Manchester United, missing out on Gyokeres would be another disappointment in what has been a difficult period. The club has struggled to attract their top targets in recent years, and losing out to Arsenal for a player of this quality would be particularly painful. However, United's higher offer shows that they're not giving up easily. The club knows they need to make big signings to get back to the top level, and they're willing to spend big money to make it happen. Other clubs in the mix. The plot thickens. Just when you thought this was a two-horse race, other clubs have entered the picture. Reports suggest that Juventus are now leading the race to sign Gyokeres after both Arsenal and Manchester United supposedly cooled their pursuits. This adds another layer of complexity to the situation. If Juventus are indeed in pole position, it would mean that both Premier League clubs have missed out on their top target. However, it's worth noting that transfer rumors can change quickly, and what seems certain one day can be completely different the next. The involvement of other clubs also shows just how highly rated Gyokeres is. When you have multiple top European clubs fighting for the same player, you know you're dealing with someone special. What happens next? The key questions. As we wait for this transfer saga to unfold, there are several key questions that need answers. Will Arsenal be able to agree a fee with Sporting CP? The Portuguese club's tough stance on the transfer fee could complicate things for the Gunners. If they can't reach an agreement, it could open the door for Manchester United to come back into the race. Can Manchester United convince Gyokeres to change his mind? Money talks in football, and United's reportedly higher offer might be enough to sway the Swedish striker. players have changed their minds before when presented with significantly better financial packages. Will Sporting CP honor their gentleman's agreement? If they stick to the €100 million release clause, it could price out both Arsenal and Manchester United. This might force all parties back to the negotiating table. Could Gyokeres really go on strike? If the player is as frustrated as reports suggest, he might take drastic action to force a move. This would put enormous pressure on Sporting CP to accept a reasonable offer. The fan perspective: what United and Arsenal supporters think. Manchester United fans are understandably frustrated by reports that Gyokeres prefers Arsenal. Many feel that their club should still be more attractive than Arsenal, given United's history and global status. However, some realistic fans acknowledge that Arsenal's recent progress and Champions League qualification make them a more appealing option right now. Arsenal fans, meanwhile, are excited about the possibility of signing such a high-quality striker. Many see Gyokeres as the final piece they need to challenge Manchester City for the Premier League title. The fact that he reportedly prefers Arsenal over United has given Gunners supporters extra confidence about getting the deal done. Both sets of fans will be watching this situation closely over the coming weeks. Transfer sagas like this one are exactly why the summer window is so exciting for football supporters. The bottom line: a transfer battle for the ages. The Victor Gyokeres transfer saga has everything you want in a summer transfer story. You've got two big clubs fighting for the same player, a frustrated striker trying to force a move, and a selling club playing hardball over the transfer fee. Add in Fabrizio Romano's expert updates and you have one of the most compelling transfer battles in recent memory. While Arsenal appear to be in the stronger position right now, this story is far from over. Manchester United's financial power and global appeal mean they can never be completely ruled out. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining where Gyokeres ends up. What's clear is that whoever signs Victor Gyokeres will be getting one of the best strikers in European football. His goal-scoring record speaks for itself, and he has the quality to make an immediate impact in the Premier League. For Manchester United fans, losing out on Gyokeres to Arsenal would be particularly painful. It would be another sign that their club is falling behind their rivals and struggling to attract the best players in the world. For Arsenal supporters, signing Gyokeres would represent another step forward in their journey back to the top of English football. It would show that they can compete with anyone in the transfer market, and that their project under Mikel Arteta is attracting world-class talent. Final thoughts. The wait continues. As we wait for the next chapter in this transfer story, one thing is certain: Victor Gyokeres will be a Premier League player next season. The only question is whether he'll be wearing red at Arsenal or red at Manchester United. This transfer battle perfectly captures what makes the summer window so exciting. It's not just about the money or the clubs involved. It's about dreams, ambitions, and the future direction of some of football's biggest teams. Fabrizio Romano will no doubt continue to provide updates as this story develops, and football fans around the world will be watching closely to see how it all unfolds. One way or another, this summer's transfer window just got a lot more interesting. The Victor Gyokeres transfer saga is a reminder that in modern football, nothing is certain until the contract is signed and the player is holding up the shirt. Until then, both Manchester United and Arsenal fans will be hoping that their club comes out on top in this fascinating battle for one of Europe's most wanted strikers. Whether you're a United fan hoping for a late turnaround or an Arsenal supporter confident of getting your man, this transfer story has all the ingredients to keep us entertained right until the final decision is made. The beautiful game never fails to deliver drama, and the Gyokeres transfer battle is proof of that. Stay tuned to Unite United News for all the latest updates on this developing story and all your Manchester United transfer news. The summer window is just getting started, and if this story is anything to go by, we're in for plenty more excitement in the weeks ahead.